Kia ora koutou, ko dia hau, haramai, welcome to today's Makerspace. Going to send you off for a quick brain teaser and then we will be back with our main activity and we'll be looking at some wind experiments. Well, welcome back. We've got two small wind experiments to try today. So we're going to take a closer look at the materials that we're going to need and then make a start. Okay, so we've got a fairly simple experiment to start and we're going to make a wing. And we're going to see if we can make it fly. So we'll start off just with a piece of lightweight paper. It's about 8 centimetres by 210, which is the width of a piece of A4 paper. Going to fold it over and we're going to trim off some of it. So I'm going to overlap it. So that is about, we'll try that, we'll make that, it's about 4 centimetres. So we're going to trim that off. Okay, and then we're going to tape this piece together. Hold it over. There we go, so there we've got a wing shape. For the next part, you may need an adult to help, but we're going to make a hole on here that goes through to the other side. So we're just going to press down, make a hole, and that needs to be large enough and wide enough for our straw to go through. And we feed it through the other side. And we need that to be quite sturdy, so we're actually going to tape that down a little bit so that does not move. So get a little bit of tape. Make sure it's approximately in the center, and that shouldn't move there. Just pop some on the bottom side as well. There we go. Now you'll notice I had some wool here. You can have string or some other kind of thread, and we need to feed this through the straw. Now I found that that's actually quite tricky with a piece of wool. So the thing that I have found is that if you can get the piece of wool in to start with, you can start feeding it down. At some point it won't go through. So I have taken a paper clip and just given it a wee push. And there we go, it's finally come through. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to attach this to somewhere in the house, or wherever you are, and we're going to, I'll explain it when we get there, we're going to see what happens when we apply a wind force to our wing. Right, so the next thing we're going to make is a wind meter anemometer, and we have made one of these before in one of our Makerspace classes. We made it a little bit differently. This one you can think of as being a little bit more like a wind vane. So these are the things that we're going to need. It's going to be relatively easy to make. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start out with making some small markers for our paper cup, and that is going to give our compass directions of north, south, east and west. So to do that, we're just going to cut out some triangles, just some little ones, but if you can make them approximately the same size, that's probably a good idea. I'm just going to that one. I'm just going to cut one more because we're going to use that for something else. So we'll have 5 in total. And then we're going to make one for the end of the weather vane, which is going to be more of a rectangular piece. And you usually see them with a triangle cut out of them, so that's what we'll do for that piece as well. Alright, so pop those aside. Now for these 4 that we've already done here, I'll just set that one aside. We're going to mark north, south, east and west. So north, south, I'm going to do it that way around, east, E and W. Now we're going to attach those to our paper cup, just with using some blue tack or whatever else you've got. So north, put that on there like that. The opposite of north is south. So that goes there. Then we've got east, which goes there. And finally west. Which goes there. So there we've got north, south, east and west on our cup. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a hole in the center of here. And so we'll dual purpose for our pencil, we're going to make the hole, and then this is also going to be on our upright as well. Just might need an adult to help. There we go, and they'll stay like that. Okay. One thing we're going to do right now as well is we're going to affix our paper cup to our bench. You might have some Play-Doh. I'm just using some blue tack here. I'm just going to put it around the base just so that it stays once we get our wind happening, because we don't want it to move. Just press it down like that. Just put a little bit on the other side as well. Okay, so we've popped our pencil in with our rubber on the top. We've taken our piece of straw, we've cut it just to a shorter length, that's about 10 or 11 centimetres long. I've used a push pin to make a hole and it goes through to the other side. You might need an adult to help with that. And then I've made a small hole in the top of the rubber using that. Now, you might be happy with that, but I don't think it gives enough movement. So what I've used instead is a paper clip, which is a little bit longer, and you can manage to feed that through your straw and then feed that into the top of your pencil. Now I have also, just for some decoration, because I think it's cute and it suits the weather vane theme as well, as I've created or made a little rooster here. Another reason for using the paper clip. And we'll feed him into there so he looks a little bit funny. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to put in our little weather vane markers here. So I need to cut the top and the bottom of our straw. I'm going to feed that in. Here we go. And do the same to the other side. And feed in our little flag end. It should hopefully stay in there. And then it is time to test the wind direction. So make sure you've got your markers in the correct direction to start with, and then see how you go with your breeze. Well, how did you go? I hope you enjoyed the session today with the wind experiments, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Ka kite anō.